I think that Richard's got the devs probably going pretty crazy, you know, and I think he's playing the smart game where he's not going to leave himself corporately exposed. And I don't mean that from a legality standpoint. I mean, he's not going to allow there to be bad code put out. And in his defense, if you blame him for that, you just can't do that. All right. I don't always see eye to eye with him. I've barely even spoken to his number one. For me, you know, I think everybody thinks that I own like this big wallet, and it's a corporate wallet. It's actually a law firm, you know, but it's like, okay, you know, so it sounds good in theory, right? You know, so I'm like y'all, where I don't have just one position. We've got 5 positions. You guys just know of 2 of them. So, and we're just keeping our mouth shut. Where I'm needed, I believe, is this. And the problem is Richard's in Superman mode. So he's just not the kind of guy to reach out and say it. Now he'll tell the community to go do various things or go do various tasks or to build various programs. And I could go one step further and say, I could see that even being a smart move on his part legally for the degree of separation, right? If you think about that in theory crafting. So for me, it's like, I don't care how much money people think that I will or could possibly make. It is patently absurd to think that you're going to extract that money from that network. You want to take that much kinetic energy out of the PulseChain and PulseX network, right? Okay, check this out. Like, making $1 billion I understand that's a big deal to a lot of people, but in the grand scheme of things, not really. I'm not all that impressed, but you know, I get it. But in big deals, that's not really a big deal. So knowing that a large portion of what we do, like I need to be developing stuff on that, you know, and it's like my job, right, as part of this community is, I believe it is to, you know, protect the community, to watch over the community, from my perspective, right? That's Richard's job is not to police the community; it's to develop, it's to direct. I'd like to. We have our exchange that we're finishing up right now, and because that's going to tie the legacy markets to the crypto markets. It should enable us to convert stuff on the fly. It's going to be pretty. And I'm not. And another thing is I would like to do it in a way to where I don't want to do a capital raise up for it. Does that make sell a token? I want to have a token internally for the reasons that I do, but I don't want to sell the token. Here's the deal, but I'm not going to let you know. Because the way that I want to do it is I don't want to market to Richard's community. I do not want to do that. I don't need to do that. I can spend the money to market it myself. And, but I also don't want to charge people to buy a token. I'd rather just say, hey, if you have knowledge of it, just go sign up and I'm going to treat everybody equally and I'm not going to charge you a dime. So, and if that's what that program looks like, then I will deal with it at that time. But to pull kinetic energy out of Richard's network, or the PulseChain or the PulseX, I have no interest in doing that. Zero. As a matter of fact, I will not even tweet about it to that community. I'm just not going to do that. I can give you from my perspective. I mean, even if Richard Hart himself is in the channel listening, I'm an e-hex. I'm going to be a hex guy on both the Pulse and the Ethereum network. I just am. Obviously PulseChain, I'm going to be a big fan of. The PulseX tokenization, I'm a fan of. I'm going to, you know, corporately, we're going to keep a stack of Bitcoin. Corporately, we're keeping a stack of Ethereum. And my only next play that I'm really interested in as far as cryptographically goes is I'm waiting to get information on the upcoming wallet that I think Richard's going to do. I'm going to be all over that. Actually, I posted my assessment of it. I really, really believe that at the 1 to 3 cent range, if your medial is going to be 1 to 1.5 cents because of your duplication of the network, Ethereum versus the Pulse network, it's very compelling, man. I'm telling you, because you guys aren't going to know when it happens because I've already made a side deal. So you can't listen. If it hits a penny, if it hits 2 cents or a penny, I'm already buying in it. I'm buying $1 million worth. And the reason I can tell you that is because it's not going to be on the open market where I'm buying it. So there's no way for you guys to affect me. You have no chance. So, and all I'm doing is going, that's fine at 2 cents and I cut it in half. If my average is 1, if we hit that number, watch what I do because I'll prove it. And, but if you had a 56-cent prior high and now I'm net split, are you kidding me? I've got a 50x upside per network. I get 100x to do nothing but wait. And if I spend $1 million, that means I make 99 million for free. Of course I'm all in. It's like, that's the big difference right there is I recognize where we're at. And it's opportunity. There's no way in the world, man. I'm here to win. See the actor that I'm fixing to pull into it. That's going to be narrating. That Pat and Grant are going to. That's the nod. They're the boys. But I've let it be known. I want to see an A-lister in here. I want a major name, and I've given them major names, major names, and they've got some ideas of who they want to see. So ultimately, it's going to be interesting to see what Pat or Grant or any of the highest stakes crew ends up doing. But I've already committed to funding, you know, a significant 7-digit figure to take care of this.